In April of 2022, a Canadian TikTok star named Andrew Dawson posted what he claimed to be actual footage of a giant standing on a mountain in Vancouver, Canada. He then posted several follow-up videos claiming to be getting more information. He then simply disappeared, only to reappear a short time later, claiming his previous videos were all fake. However, what is very notable is he appeared frightened and can be seen on several occasions staring nervously at someone in the corner of the room. This story, while intriguing, is one of many in which people claim to have seen or interacted with so-called giants. These claims can be traced back to pre-biblical times. Are the sightings of giants merely an illusion and easily explainable? Or is there something far more sinister at play, in need of further investigation? This is the story of the giants. But before we get into today's story, my name is Jennifer Walker Zen, and I'm a psychic intuitive and tarot reader since I've been 14 years old. And if you're a fan of the dark and mysterious with a little tarot thrown in for good measure, then I am the girl for you. I'm going to be uploading every Sunday on this channel for JWZ Mysteries. And also, if you guys like this content and are interested in it, I would ask you to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my uploads. Now, let's get into today's story. One of the first real mentions of giants can be found in the book of Enoch. According to the book of Enoch, the Watchers, the sons of God, who would later be referred to as the fallen angels, go against God's wishes and impregnate the mortal women. This defiance of God served as a catalyst for two catastrophic events. The first was the impregnating of the mortal women, producing monstrous offspring giants with insatiable appetites and rageful tendencies. They came to be known as the Nephilim. The Nephilim are reported to have had enormous appetites, so much so that they consumed everything, including people, and eventually each other. The world was in a state of chaos, and God allegedly was displeased. And as a result of this displeasure, he unleashed his wrath by causing the Great Deluge, or as it has come to be known, the Great Flood. Only Noah and his family were allegedly spared, and the deluge was supposed to drown the Nephilim, giving humanity an opportunity at a fresh start. However, if the story is to be believed, it can be inferred that either one of three things happened. The first possibility is that maybe the flood wasn't as thorough as we were led to believe, and somehow the Nephilim managed to find high enough ground to avoid the flood altogether. The second possibility is the Nephilim were able to navigate the turbulent waters and somehow find their way to dry land once the water level subsided. The third and most likely explanation, in my opinion, would be the discovery by the Nephilim of a vast cave system underneath the earth. Enormous cave systems have been found all over the world that are said to be large enough to hold entire cities. Therefore, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for at least a few of the Nephilim to have found a refuge in a cave system. Another documented case of giants is brought to us by the way of the Holy Bible. It is the story of David and Goliath. According to Scripture, in order to secure the promised land, the Israelites had to defeat the Philistines. King Saul of the Israelites had lost God's blessings and now had to face the Philistines' greatest champion, a giant named Goliath. Goliath is reported to have challenged King Saul and his army for 40 days. Terrified, however, no one would face him, even after being promised by King Saul to whoever could defeat Goliath would become rich beyond compare. Still, no one came forward, that is, except for David, a small, unassuming shepherd boy who volunteered, allegedly armed with a sling and stones, and amazingly defeated Goliath by hitting him in the forehead with a stone, killing him. With that said, it must be noted that not all interactions with giants are necessarily hostile ones, or at least not initially. It has been alleged that sometimes giants have been benevolent and peaceful upon the first contact, only to later to be forced into a violent conflict due to mortal man's greed and wicked ways. This can be seen in an alleged story regarding the conquistadors' interactions with giants. Allegedly during the early colonization of Americas, explorers of the New World encountered giants, claiming that some of them were hostile and ill-willed. It was noted that the only real difference between humans and giants appeared its size. Italian explorer Amerigo Vespucci, whom the Americans are named after, allegedly made the first European contact with American giants in 1499. In his journal, Amerigo recounted his story about looking for fresh water along the shoreline when, shockingly, him and his men came across extremely large footprints. Being curious as to the source of these footprints, they decided to follow them to the source. And in doing so, they discovered a trail. Following the trail inland, they stumbled upon a village of 12 houses, in which they claimed to have found no one except for 5 women, 2 older ones and 3 younger ones. In his journal, he claimed that the young women were so lofty in stature that he and his men gazed at them in astonishment. And men being men of that time, Amerigo, along with the rest of his men, began plotting to take advantage of the situation by kidnapping them. The 3 voluptuous tall women, unfortunately for Amerigo and his men, however, their plans completely fall apart due to the men of the village returning. It was at this point they began to fear for their lives, mainly because one of the men entered the room. The tallest of Amerigo's men only reached to the waistline of the shortest man of the village. He claimed they had the stature of giants, so he thought it was wise to speak to them in soft voices and let them know they were men of peace. He then describes making a hasty retreat. The giant men reportedly followed them back to their ship, seemingly making sure that they were leaving. Another similar story was told by an Italian scholar, Antonio Pagathetti. According to him, he and his famed explorer, master navigator Ferdinand Magellan, in October of 1520, on behalf of Spain, set out on the very first expedition to circumnavigate the entire world. They sailed the southernmost tip of South America. Initially, the explorers were amazed by the exotic unknown land of glacier waters and grassy deserts. However, that fascination began to wane due to the extent of unpredictable severe weather. The repeated barrages of rain, wind, lightning were beginning to take a toll on the morale. For the 6 long weeks, according to Antonio, they endured this hardship. Then, one day, as the weather began to clear up, they saw on the shore a huge giant who appeared to be naked and dancing, throwing sand and dust on his head. The captain ordered one of the crew to walk towards him. As the crew members got closer to the giant, it became afraid and pointed to the sky, seemingly believing the explorers came from the heavens. Magellan and his crew reportedly followed the giant back to his village. And while there, other giant tribe people made the same mysterious gesture towards the sky. During that stay, the question of what exactly these giants were trying to communicate remained a mystery. However, it could be theorized that perhaps sometime in the distant past, they could have been visited by their potential ancestors or fallen angels, or perhaps something we would categorize today as extraterrestrials. The possibilities are endless. Also, apparently these giants had never seen their reflection, according to Antonio. As soon as they began to exchange trinkets, they were quite taken with a mirror. For the most part, the interactions with these giants was extremely cordial and friendly. But unfortunately for the giants, Ferdinand couldn't resist the urge of taking at least 2 of them back to Spain as proof of this encounter. According to Antonio, Magellan plotted a kidnapping. They managed to get 2 giants in an isolated area. then showered them with shiny trinkets. Allegedly, doing all this confusion, they managed to apply cuffs and chains onto their legs, pretending it was jewelry, all the while leading them to their ships, while piling more and more trinkets into their arms. By the time the giants realized what was going on, it was too late. Their chains were being struck with a hammer to the rivet in place. At some point, the other giants must have realized their friends were in danger, because they began to shout at the sky above and attack Magellan's men, managing to kill one of them in the process. Magellan and his crew, however, were able to escape with 2 giants. Sadly, according to Antonio, just a few weeks into the voyage, both giants became terribly ill and died. Not long after, however, Captain Magellan would experience what some may call karma. Shortly after the death of the giants, he faced multiple mutinies and eventually met his own slow and painful death from a poisoned arrow. As for Antonio, he was one of only 22 men who survived, and his detailed notes on the giants, or as they were later referred to as the Patagonians, would soon become the most famous giant encounter in recorded history. A more recent and deadly encounter with a giant was reported to have taken place in Kandahar, a region in Afghanistan. Army infantry unit out on patrol just vanished. They were on patrol in Kandahar mountains in Afghanistan when suddenly they stopped using their radios and hadn't checked in. They just were gone. Because of the extreme strangest of the unit's disappearance, the Green Beret, an elite special forces branch of the U.S. Army, was sent in to find them. They were choppered into the unit's last known location and began a methodical search. A few hours into their search, they noticed that there appeared to be a distinct pathway leading up to the mountain, and in turn it was a goat's trail, made by numerous amounts of goats going up and down the side of the mountain. They decided to follow the trail towards point of origin to see what they could find. As they began making their way up to the mountain, they began noticing little pieces of American military equipment on the ground. There were pieces of radio, ripped backpacks, and torn uniforms. They then came to a plateau where there were several cave entrances. They began to walk slowly towards the mouth of the cave, and then one of the Green Berets noticed a flash of movement inside the cave. Suddenly, before anyone could react, a massive spear came flying out of the cave, impaling one of the Green Berets, instantly killing him. A few seconds later, a 15-foot tall man with a red beard and long scraggly red hair came charging out of the cave, howling, covered in animal skin, began running towards them. Finally, after the initial shock had worn off, they unloaded a barrage of firepower that instantly brought down the giant, killing him. Allegedly, as they were loading the giant's body into the netting, they noticed it had 6 toes on each foot and had 6 fingers on each of its hands. They additionally reported it weighed about 1,100 pounds. When they were asked to recount their encounter, it was claimed everything was redacted and made top secret. Additionally, the entire team was made to sign a non-disclosure agreement, ordering them to never speak of what they encountered in public. We only know this encounter because of an anonymous leak. And finally, coming full circle, we end where we began, with the strange and tragic story of Andrew Dawson. In April 2022, Canadian TikTok star Andrew Dawson posted a video of a strange tall shape on top of a mountain in Vancouver. Andrew claimed that the shape was in fact a giant person. The video gained millions of views and sent Dawson on a giant hunt that would last weeks. He went back to the mountains multiple times to no avail. This seemed, however, to only make him more determined to get answers. And then things got weird. Andrew claimed he was being stopped from going up to the mountain by someone claiming to be with the CIA. He posted several videos showing the alleged CIA agents blocking access to the mountain. In one video, helicopters can be seen flying around the mountain as if searching for something. It wasn't long, however, before the alleged agents began stalking Andrew. He posted a video of the black car parked outside of his home. This video shows him trying to confront the driver, only to have the car speed off as he got closer. The strangeness regarding Andrew Dawson only escalated from there. In early May, Andrew posted a strange video in which he confesses that the giant sightings were fake, and that all the videos were scripted for entertainment purposes only. Throughout the video, his eyes darted off camera as if being instructed by someone. 10 days later, he backpedaled and claimed in a distressing video that the footage of the giant was in fact real, and that he would most likely never post again. Andrew's post his final video on May 17th. In the video, the same mountain is shown, however, now with a huge new building on top of it. No other information was given. Then, just like before, Andrew seemingly disappeared. A few months later, an obituary allegedly posted by Andrew's girlfriend claimed that he had passed. Some have claimed that the new building on top of the mountain is a government research facility. Others have claimed it's nothing more than a radio tower. However, the truth may be, one thing is not in dispute. Andrew Dawson is seemingly no longer with us and passed under very strange circumstances. Now that you know the story, let's get some answers. Join me in my investigation room. Entertainment purposes only. Let's talk about these questions I have. As you guys know, Andrew Dawson saw a giant. So we supposedly saw a giant. So I want to find out, did he actually see a giant? Okay, did he actually see something on this mountain? Okay, we got the Knight of Cups. We got the Nine of Cups. We have the Death card. We have this 10 of Pentacles energy. We have this Ace of Pentacles. We have this 3 of Swords. We have this collaboration going on here. We have the state of confusion and a lot of soul searching. Okay, so if we talk about it, there was this concern about missing an opportunity and secrets, and this huge surprise. It was a shock and surprise. We see there could have been another person around this Aries, Sagittarius, Leo energy. And we see this traveling in this car and wanting to speak this truth quickly. And there was an exploratory energy, a curious energy around it, and there was a reaction to it, okay? And we see wanting to just get control of this situation and take a risk, go for it, right? So we see that there was actions taken by this person to fulfill their desires because of this concern of an ending of a situation when it came to family, money, and they saw it as a huge opportunity, and it caused them a lot of heartache and sadness. There seems to be some clarity here, or a collaboration with 3 other people here, and a state of confusion, and doing a lot of soul searching about this. So I get the sense that, did they actually see a giant on the mountain? It seems like it's a bit confused. It seems like there was this strong desire for it, but then we see that there was a lot of other factors around this. So it's not very clear if they, if it's per se a giant, because there was this reactionary energy to go for what they wanted. We see an ending of a situation here. And we see there was some huge potential in this, whatever they saw, and it created a lot of heartache. And we see that there was other people around this that caused this state of confusion, and maybe jump to some conclusions about what exactly this was that they saw. So there was a lot of deep, heavy soul searching about this. They were kind of confused about what exactly they saw, but they realized it was an opportunity to present it, and they jumped on it quickly, and it was like, wow, this is really lucky, this is fast. They try to jump on it to try to show the world, and then they kind of backtracked. Was this Afghanistan story true? Let's find out. Is it true? is it true? Positive card for yes. Is this story true? Is it highly likely the story is true? Positive card for yes. Negative card for no. Show me cards I need to see. Show me the cards I need to see. King of Pentacles. Six of Wands. Six of Pentacles. They're all yes cards. So for how the people viewed it, they felt it was true. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. Yeah, Page of Cups. Ace of Cups. Star card. So for the people involved, they felt it was a true story. Okay. All right. So they felt they were telling the truth. Okay. So yes. Do the Nephilim still exist amongst us? Obviously, Andrew Dawson felt that he saw something that was, but he couldn't really confirm whether or not what he saw was true or not. There was a state of confusion about it. So let's just see, whatever we perceive the Nephilim to be, do they still live amongst us? All right. Show me the cards I need to see. Show me cards I need to see. Okay. Six of Cups. Wow. Wow. Knight of Pentacles. Okay. This is very interesting, actually. Okay. So it says in the past, something to do with the past energy. There is a lot of over-analyzing. Knight of Pentacles energy, like something happened here, because it seems like now we see this Seven of Cups, there's been a state of confusion, because something about the stars. You see something about the stars. That's really weird, isn't it? It's like it says yes, but it says then it was in the past. And we see that there is this over-analyzing Knight of Pentacles energy. Let's just see what happened here. There's a state of confusion. We see in healing a situation, and there was a definitive decision. We see birth and pregnancy, fertility, and then waiting around to see how things played out. There was a missed opportunity or something about the situation. There was some indifferentness. Okay. There was something that wasn't exactly true, and someone's judgment about it, and there was some juggling going on that was over. We see leadership here also, boss leadership kind of energy, king energy. Yep, more king energy. And we see there was actions being taken to end a situation. That's very interesting. So it seems like there was some things, it seemed like there was an understanding that there was a past energy of them. But then it seems like these kings or these leaders, it seems like they did some things here to kind of, to eradicate them. I guess that's the best way I can put it. But it also seems like there could be, I mean, okay, I'm just gonna say it. I mean, this is really strange, but like integration with the human population. Okay, okay, that's very strange. Yeah, we see concerns about ruination of plans, needing some kind of clarity, feeling bad, regrets, trying to regain this confidence and fulfillment of a desire. This can be a house, a home, a body. Okay, and yeah, wow, okay, that's very interesting. I really wasn't expecting that. Okay, that's very strange. Okay, so do the governments know that they exist? So do governments know they exist? Show me cards I need to see. Show me the cards I need. Positive card for yes, negative card for no. Show me cards I need to see. Show me the cards I need to see. Oh my goodness. Well, they have a good understanding of something there. King of Pentacles. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, so seems like there's some kind of burdens, responsibility here. Yeah, we see leaders, bosses. We see this truth. Yep, we see leaders, bosses. Yep. There's some juggling about this decision. Lots of soul searching going on. We see about the timing, the blessing, or maybe even bringing it to the public at the right time. Interesting. Wow, that's very interesting. This was a very interesting read, actually, considering. Okay, so, all right, my beautiful darlings, if you guys like it this way, you want me to continue this way, and again, this is for entertainment purposes only, hit that like button. Let me know in the comments below. All right, my beautiful darlings, I will see you guys next Sunday for the JWZ Mysteries.